This muscle is the epicranius frontalis. It is responsible for raising the eyebrow and wrinkling the forehead. This muscle is called the buccinator. It compresses the cheeks. The circular muscle is called the orbicularis oculi. It closes the eye tightly, but it is not involved with blinking. These muscles here are the zygomatic muscles. They raise the corners of the mouth and help you smile. The muscle surrounding the mouth is called the orbicularis oris. It closes and protrudes the lips. It is responsible for puckering the lips. This muscle, located here, is the masseter muscle. This closes the jaw and elevates the mandible. This muscle here is the temporalis muscle. It also closes the jaw and elevates the mandible. This muscle running along the side of the neck is the sternocleidomastoid. When one side contracts, it will turn the head in the opposite direction. When both sides contract, it will flex the head, bringing the chin down to the sternum. It also raises the sternum. The levator scapulae is located here. This muscle is responsible for elevating the scapula. This muscle is the epicranius occipitalis. It is responsible for raising the eyebrows and wrinkling the forehead. This muscle is the latissimus dorsi. It extends and adducts the humerus and pulls the shoulders back and down. This muscle is the teres major. It extends, adducts, and medially rotates the humerus. This muscle is the teres minor. It laterally rotates the humerus. This muscle is the rhomboideus major. It raises and adducts the scapula. This muscle is the infraspinatus. It laterally rotates the humerus. This muscle is the trapezius. It's responsible for several movements of the scapula, including rotation, elevation, and depression. This muscle is the deltoid. The deltoid abducts the humerus, flexes or extends the humerus, and is also a site for injections. The triceps brachii is located here on the posterior humerus. This muscle extends the forearm at the elbow. The supraspinatus is located here. This muscle is responsible for abducting the humerus. This muscle is the biceps brachii. It flexes the forearm at the elbow. Beneath the biceps brachii is the brachialis. This muscle also flexes the forearm at the elbow. Here is the subscapularis. This muscle medially rotates the humerus. The pectoralis major is located here. This muscle pulls the arm forward and across the chest and adducts and medially rotates the humerus. The external oblique is located here. This muscle tenses the abdominal wall and compresses the abdominal contents. The pectoralis minor is located here. This muscle pulls the scapula forward and downward and raises the ribs. The internal intercostals are located here. They cause the forceful exhalation. Serratus anterior is located here. This muscle pulls the scapula anteriorly and downward. The rectus abdominis is located here. This muscle tenses the abdominal wall, compresses the abdominal contents, and also flexes the torso at the waist as in sit-ups. The internal oblique muscles are located here. These muscles tense the abdominal wall and compresses the abdominal contents. The transverse abdominis is located here. This muscle tenses the abdominal wall and compresses the abdominal contents. The diaphragm is located here. This muscle enlarges the volume of the thoracic cavity to cause inhalation.
This muscle is the gluteus maximus. It extends the thigh at the hip. This muscle is the gluteus medius. It adducts the thigh, a site for injections. This muscle is the biceps femoris. This muscle right here is the semitendinosus. This muscle right here is the semimembranosus. They're all part of the hamstrings. They flexes the legs and extend the thighs. This muscle is the gastrocnemius. Plantar flexus foot flexes the leg at the knee. The adductor muscles consist of the adductor longus, the adductor magnus, and the adductor brevis. The adductor longus is located right here, and it adducts and flexes the thigh. The gracilis is located right here. It adducts the thigh. This muscle is the tensor fasciae. It abducts the thigh. This muscle is the rectus femoris. This muscle is the vastus medialis. This muscle is the vastus lateralis. This muscle is the vastus intermedius. They're part of the quadriceps femoris that extends the legs at the knee. This muscle is the sartorius. It crosses the legs, Taylor Indian fashion. This muscle is the iliacus. It flexes the thigh at the hip. This muscle is the psoas major, flexes the thigh at the hip. Iliopsoas is composed of the iliacus and the psoas major. This muscle is the tibialis anterior. Dorsiflexes the foot.
Mr. Langford rocks!